Hey, stars, it's me, Shar the Star, and I'm back. Listen, I want to thank you guys again for your continued support. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Um, I know that we're like midweek. Last weekend was the final summer weekend of the summer of 2025 officially. Last weekend, fall started on Monday afternoon. We are now midweek. And I know a lot of us just trying to get our ways through it and try to figure it out. Listen, I'm not doing anything special or spectacular. What is wrong with me today? I'm having some lemon water. That's it. Wait, I'm stuttering over these words. I think I'm having a real drink. Okay. Listen, um, how many of you guys are aware that um, Jaden Smith, Will Smith, and Jada Pinkett Smith's son? Yeah, I know we've kind of like watched them grow up and do whatever it is that they do, right? Okay, so I'm going to show you this, and here we are. Fans are so mad after Will Smith's son Jaden Smith is announced as the creative director for luxury brand Christian Louboutin. Nepotism at its finest is what people are accusing, and I want to know what you guys think. Personally, this is what I think. Okay. And this is from, let me take this off because we know what Jayden looks like, and let's get into this a little bit. The truth of the matter is, nepotism is always going to exist. Just because, first of all, it's just what it is. Most people, average people, regular, everyday people, can't get their foot in the door of fashion home houses and different labels and different brands. Some of these children of celebrities, they are born into this. It's not their fault. And I think we blame them for being who they are. And they really had no control over it, no more control over who you had control over being who you were born to. So, of course, our families, and you talk about generational wealth, that's how you build generational wealth. You look out for your family. My grandmother told me from the beginning charity begins at home. And my grandmother and my sisters and my cousins and my family members know that Phoebe didn't play that. It was about being of service to people, you know. But we're not going to get here, and we're not going to go there right now. But this is what we're going to do. I think we need to stop blaming the children for being kids of whatever celebrities they are, and and we have to now, what we have to do, since they have that upper hand and that extra foot in the door, we have to be smarter. We have to, you know how they say African American guys have to be smarter and work a little harder, and women, African American women, that all applies to everything. Because having money will help you in a lot of different ways. And it's about the have and the have nots, period. It's not, I mean, you can't be mad because someone wealthy is willing to financially support their children. That doesn't even make any sense for you to be angry and mad about that. That's what it's supposed to be. Anywho, fans have expressed their frustrations on social media after Jaden Smith was announced as the new men's creative director for the luxury brand Christian Louboutin. They criticized the announcement as a clear example of nepotism in the industry, despite Jaden's background as an artist, singer, actor, and designer. The backlash highlights the ongoing debate about nepotism in creative industries and the expectations placed on the next generation of celebrity children. Again, it's not their fault. Um, Listen, for instance, like I hear people talking about still debating if they think that Pharrell is a good men's creative director for Louis Vuitton. And I personally, me, a person that likes Louis Vuitton a lot, um, I just like different pieces. I don't go for the same pieces everybody go. Listen, one thing about me, I'm a person of a certain age, and I wore Gucci sneakers, and my friends and people that's listening to me, that's known me this long, know seriously. We used to go to Secaucus. They had a Gucci store in Secaucus, and what we know as the Gucci outlet in Woodbury used to be in Secaucus, New Jersey. And we, those of us that drove and had cars and access, when it was time to go school shopping, we would leave Brooklyn and come to Secaucus, New Jersey, because Secaucus was the old Woodbury, which I think Woodbury is now as flashy and as pretty as it is now. We used to have that, but in Secaucus, New Jersey, right? Which is not right. It's right outside the Lincoln Tunnel. You can get there. It's not like how Woodbury is now. And it was just warehouses, and it was all the same. A lot of the brands that lasted or made it, but Lacoste and Izog and Polo and Gucci and Coach and all of those were right there in Secaucus up until actually before pandemic, because I'm so blessed to have brought a final piece. Me and a friend went used to go there often, and it was the Gucci outlet. And then, like I said, they got rid of it. And but I got some cute pieces from you. Crazy. Anywho, um, listen. I would like to know what Jaden is going to do. I want to see his creativity. Like I said, Pharrell was into fashion before he became creative director. I followed Pharrell when he was working with Chanel. I have a couple of pieces from his collection from Chanel, and he only did that once. And those that know. Um, so I've been following Pharrell. I think he's doing a great job. I think he's brought a new urban feel to a old, established, exclusive, influential brand. It was Louis Vuitton is Louis Vuitton, but now you can actually go to Louis Vuitton and buy a pair of sneakers. What we call sneakers here, if you were in California, it'd be called tennis. Different places are different call, but you can actually go to Louis Vuitton for activewear. They have the softest sweatsuits, the materials, the cottons. Can I afford to have a lot of it? No. But down through the years, for the past 30 years that I've been collecting high end, 30, I said 30. I have pieces that are, my oldest piece that I can count back to would probably be 30. Yeah. So, nevertheless, I, I appreciate what Pharrell has brought to the table as far as the youth and making it fun. The prices are they what they are, and I don't have a lot of it, but I have what I like. I have what pieces I like, and in 30 years, you can grow a nice collection if you learn to hold on to things and take care of things. Nevertheless, I'm willing to see what Jaden is going to do. Let's see how creative he is. Be honest with you, I don't have a lot of Christian Louboutin. I'm going to be honest. I have a couple of pairs of sneakers. Um, I have some shoes, and I have some shoes that I bought for my nephew's wedding last year. And wait a minute. Oh my God, my cousin Latoya, y'all know who she is to me, my sister slash cousin. She is going to choke fire out of me. Her and her husband gave me a pair of tan caramel suede Louboutin ankle boots with the silver studs. I had them in leather in black, and her husband had them in another color. And we talked about this color, and they surprised me and gave me a pair for my last birthday, I believe, this year in April. And I never took them out. I looked at them, and they're still up in my closet. Oh my God, girl, don't kill me. And I'm saying talking about Christian Louboutin. Yeah, so I have about two pair of boots, couple pair of sneakers, nothing serious, nothing extra, no bags, no other accessories. Because to be honest with you, I don't go to Christian Louboutin when I'm thinking of activewear or when I'm thinking of something, or if I'm thinking of, oh my, no, I don't think of. I would think more of Louis and maybe Gucci or things that's more affordable, and none of it is affordable at this time. um, so I'm willing to see what Jaden is going to bring to the table. Let's see. I'm waiting. I can't wait to see. He's going to do his first fashion show for Fashion Week in Europe in January. I'll wait to see what it is. I want to see what the pieces is because Pharrell is doing it. If you listen, Pharrell, you doing it, and call me. Don't worry about this Gucci I got on. Just call me. Okay. Anywho, moving right along. Now let's talk about Jimmy Kimmel. Now, I didn't want to. I didn't want to just jump into him because that's all everyone's been talking about for the past week. or what, however. And I want to give me 1 second, guys. I want to bring this up and tell me what you guys. I stand up 10 toes on what I say, and it's how I feel. There's nothing wrong with that. But anyway, Jimmy Kimmel, as all of us know, returned back to the airwaves as of last night. And I set my DVR to record. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't watch Jimmy Kimmel. I did I know who Jimmy Kimmel was before all of this? Of course. I think he's funny. His humor is selective. Sometimes it's dry. Politically, it's needed. I think he's very necessary. Him and a few others. I think he's very necessary. So don't forget I said that. However, um, should be changing through channels from year to year. He's been on for 22 years. So have I watched any of his shows from one person, from one thing to the beginning to the end? Never. However, I've caught certain artists' performances and interviews and little things or whatever and kept it pushing. Um, he returned and, when he went to talk about the reason he was taken off the air, he apologized if it was taken a certain kind of way, and that he started to seem like he was about to cry, but I didn't see any tears, so I kind of thought it was an inner cry or something like that. But anyway, um, I didn't feel that. I think Disney messed around and found out that we finally found out that we have the power because allegedly, and from what I understand, Disney lost $3 to $4 billion in the past 6 days, the 6 days that he was canceled. And again, Jimmy, I like you. I think you're funny, whatever, but you're not for me necessarily. But I want you to now return the favor and help. Let's get back to the DEI initiatives, really. Because you know what? We stood behind you. People were canceling their Hulu and Disney and things of the sort and stood behind you with this. And Disney messed around and found out. And like I said in my other video, Disney is not just one company, it's an umbrella, a gang of entities, right? You have Disney, and then you have Disney merchandise, you have Disney music, you have Disney movies, you have Disney cruises, you have Disney, just like it goes on and on and on. You have Disney amusement parks, and people started to cancel all of those. So it wasn't just about canceling Disney subscriptions and Hulu subscriptions. People were canceling vacations on Disney cruises and not taking their kids to the Disney theme parks and all of this stuff. So it was coming at them so much. Okay, granted. Mr. Kimmel, dear sir, this is for you. Listen, I want you to understand. Listen, Jimmy, this wasn't really about you personally. So people like you, we understand you're necessary, but this wasn't really about you. This was about freedom of speech and the rights of every American and not being banned or canceled because you don't agree with another person's views. This is what this was about. Freedom of speech and stuff. And just so happened you happen to be that vessel. And since you and President Trump, I'm always respectful, have been going back and forth and doing this thing, I think even before he was president. However, you just happen to be the vessel. So I think that because we showed up for you, it's time for you to show up and show out for others because now you have a place. And you stated in your monologue that, Disney was taking a big chance by taking you back because now they're under threat of being allegedly threatened by the administration, the federal government, allegedly the president. Actually, no, Jimmy, Disney didn't do you a favor, and I think you should. I think you know that. I just think you're saying what needs to be said because if this company lost $3 to $4 billion in 6 days, that's 6 days. We could do some real damage if we decided to do it for 30 days. Could you imagine? And the shade of it all. No, get into this. Real talk. All y'all that's doing this. And those of you that canceled Disney and Hulu, and y'all feel like now that Jimmy's back, y'all gonna go back. And if you didn't know in the few days, 3 days ago or whatever, up to 3 to 4 days ago, 4 to 3 days ago. Let's go to the 3 day mark. They were now begging people to subscribe. I think it was $2.99 allegedly, $2.99 or $3.99 allegedly to join Disney, to subscribe to Disney because people were canceling, right? Do you know? And I'm gonna say allegedly, but I personally got the texts and the emails, so it is what it is. But allegedly, Disney announced yesterday, the same day that we were, no, sorry, the day before yesterday, they were announced that Jimmy Kimmel was returning to the airwaves. Right? Boom. It felt like a big celebration, and like we had really won. Right? Yesterday, personally, in my household, we received text messages because we have apps for everything, stating that Disney is raising their prices next month. Now we're at the 24th. Today is the 24th. The next month is next week. They're raising prices as of yesterday. And then I watched on Fox News this morning that Disney and them are raising their prices coming the new month. So then allegedly somebody put in my ear, they said all they doing is recouping that $3 to $4 billion that they lost in the past 6 days. So now that they put Jimmy Kimmel back on, now people feel it's safe to subscribe, go back. First of all, you need to keep that subscription $2.99 and $3.99 at least for the next 7 days. Since you kept them off 6 days, you should keep that promotion going for the next 7 days. And how about not raising your fees next month, which is next week? Come on, people. Don't subscribe. I'm not saying never go back to Disney and never go back to Hulu and never. That's not what I'm telling you because I'm always here to tell you what I think and let you draw your own conclusion and make your own decisions. Don't subscribe back to Disney and Hulu right away. Wait, because they are now going to raise their price next month. It's been on the news. They've already announced it. I'm going to say allegedly, but I'm sure I'm not the only person that's received the text and emails and also seen it on TV and on the news this morning that they were raising their prices at the beginning of next month. They got a lot of nerve. Disney, you done lost your damn mind. You done lost your whole mind. So we show you a lesson and put you through a little this, that, and the third to teach you so you can mess around and find out. Now you messed around and found out and now return Jimmy Kimmel back to the air. Now you're going to make us mess around and find out and get the money double time because you lost what, 3 or 4 billion, and with you raising your subscription prices next month for everybody, so you're going to make about 10 to 16 billion. So you lost 3 to 4, so you'll make about 10, right? I don't know, something's going on outside my house. Sorry. Nevertheless, I don't get it. I don't know. I'm just letting you look. I'm just here to tell you. Now, tell me this, guys. Are you aware of the? I'm going to bring this up. It's a lawsuit, right? And I've never heard of these companies, but I'm going to explain it to you. Maybe some of you guys have, and if you haven't, look out for them because this can affect you and your children on what's going on. Here we go. Come on. Okay. So it states Roblox, and Discord sued over 15-year-old boys unaliving himself after allegedly sexual abused online. Okay. Um. So this is the story. Let me get rid of this, and then we're going to get into the story. The story is. I'm going to tell you the story, and then I'm going to dissect it a little bit, and tell me if you agree. Now, it states a mother of a 15-year-old boy who unalived himself is suing Roblox and Discord for wrongful death, alleging the app's lack of guardrails allowed her son to be sexually coerced by an adult predator into sending explicit photos. Right? Now, keep listening, pay attention, because this is important. Seriously. Ethan Dallas is who we're talking about. This is the 15-year-old. He's an autistic teen known as the class clown and the star pitcher on a baseball team for kids with disabilities. He made a new friend on Roblox after a player who said he was a child named Nate started messaging him, according to the suit filed last week in the Superior Court of San Francisco County. The pair would play Roblox, a world building video game. That's what it is. I don't know what it is. I guess they build video games together, some type of, I don't know. Together every day. They would play this video game together every day and talk late into the night. Nate eventually showed Ethan how to disable some of the parental controls his parents had set up. So the parents had set up parental controls, trying to keep the predators out. That's when the conversations turned sexual and moved to messaging app Discord. So now it went from one app to the next app, which is Discord, where Nate demands Ethan send explicit photos of himself. After he does, he threatens to share the messages otherwise, according to the lawsuit. Okay, so what happens is this 15-year-old boy, remember, they state that he's autistic. Now, what I don't agree with this, and I'm not going to turn the victim, I'm not going to go after the victim and blame the victim, but I am going to speak on the parents. And the fact that you made sure you started this off with stating that he was autistic, he was a class clown, and he was the star pitcher on a baseball team for children with disabilities. Okay? So you're telling us his accolades and how he really was a class clown. People enjoyed him. He had fun. He had a life going on. He had really things going on. And I saw a picture of him. So, nevertheless, um, you're saying that he went on this website. This website didn't protect your child. They didn't have the things in place. They should have tighter restrictions, and they should have some type of, since this is supposed to be this 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 place, Discord. I'm sorry for this Discord and Roblox is supposed to be for children. Roblox is supposed to be for children. The Discord is where which allowed them to send sexual pictures and different things of the sort, right? Okay, so let's stay on track. So the child, they said that these websites didn't protect the children. Boom. So the parent is suing because what happened was the 15-year-old thought he had another friend that was probably his age. They didn't say, but they thought his name was Nate or Nathaniel, and that he was another kid. Come to find out, he was not another kid. He wasn't just another kid. He was a predator that had targeted this young boy. And from what I understand, give me 1 second because I want to be clear about the age of the other person. But nevertheless, he told him that they were friends. I don't know how once he told him how to take the parental guidance things off of the computer or off of the app so that they can talk freely and have more free things to talk about. Apparently, that's how that went, and then it became sexual. And however, he wound up sending explicit nude pictures of himself allegedly, and then once the person got it, he threatened him to send more and to do other things. And if he didn't, he was going to expose the pictures and send it to his family and stuff like that. So apparently he started to act out. The mom had noticed the change, and that he started to act out. And come to find out, this other teenager, Nate, that he thought he had met, happened to be a person named Timothy O'Connell, a 37-year-old man who was arrested on separate charges of possessing child pornography and transmitting harmful materials to minor. And this is in December 2023. O'Connor was deemed mentally unfit to stand trial, according to public records. So nothing could happen to him. Even when they found out who he was, they found him unfit to even stand trial. So the mom is suing these websites, saying that they didn't protect the children the way they are. What I'm going to say is, and I'm not victim shaming, but parents have to at some point realize that it's your job to be a parent. It's not, you can't turn your kids loose to the television and to the airwaves and to social media just for entertainment to get them out your hair. You don't care what they're doing as long as they're not bothering you. It's time for you to be a parent. And you can't continue to blame people for not protecting your children when you're not protecting your children. Because yeah, it said that he had got the adult, the adult who we found out was an adult, told him how to disable whatever it was. These kids are smart. He didn't need him to tell him that. These kids are these kids. It says that they're on a program that builds computers or something like that, right? Allegedly. So that wasn't going to keep them from doing anything. They build these kids make up these programs. They're very smart. And I don't know if I cared about the way that you pushed that your child was autistic to make us feel a certain kind of way, but yet tell us that he was a class clown and he was the star pitcher on a baseball team. I get all of that. So it was more, and because he was autistic, you should have protected him even more. Why did you allow him to be on the internet or any game or any computer thing all day and all night? You stated that he would be on this game playing all day and late until the night. You allowed that. You knew. You just didn't know it was a predator that had control of your child. But since you're going to say he's autistic, why didn't you protect him even more? It's a question. Because at some point, we have to stop blaming everybody else for our shortcomings. I'm not making the victim blaming. It was nowhere his fault. First of all, he was 15. I don't care. But it was his parents who earlier stated he was autistic. Why didn't you, what? So I'm just stating the lawsuits and stuff sound great. And sure, I'm sure that there's other things that these sites can do to protect our young people. But my grandmother always told me the teaching starts at home. Charity begins at home. And yeah, you got to teach your kids and you got to protect your kids. And you can't leave it to Smojo and Joe Smith and Mark Adam, any of these people, and these are all fictional names I made. You can't leave it to them and celebrities and people they look up to. No, these are human beings. Everybody can fall short or make mistakes. No one's perfect. But you have to police your children. You have to parent your children. Okay, enough on that. I have one more story, and then I'm going to let you guys go. Um, it says flight attendant mom died a hero on 9/11. A letter she wrote before the attacks finally made it to him, her son, 24 years later. Well, he was like, child, what was that snail mail for real? No, no jokes. What happened was, long story short, the guy name is Javon Castrello. That's the young guy that this story is about. And what happened was, more than 2 decades ago, his mother, Cece Ross Lyles, she passed away on one of the flights on 9/11. And it's the flight that allegedly crashed into the field of Pennsylvania. And then we're going to get back to that. Keep that in mind, though. Remember, that's an important part of this. Okay, so apparently a month before 9/11, 24 years ago, um, the mother noticed a change in her son, a good change. She noticed that she said she watched him read a book from cover to cover in one day. And she said that she knew that it was a book that was suggested by a teacher and given he had gotten from the library in school. And she said she had noticed the change in him and she made a point of acknowledging that she believed that the teacher that was teaching him that suggested this particular book, whatever, was the reason for the change, a great change. She said she had never saw her son be interested in reading the way he had started to become. She said she watched him one day read a book from cover to cover. So she was happy. So what she decided to do was write a note to the teacher. And you think in 20, 25, 30 years ago, our parents and parents did write notes to teachers. And they were a little more involved, if you ask me. I'm just allegedly, that's about how I felt. Um, so she wrote a letter to the teacher, stating to the teacher, what this is what the letter stated. Dear Miss Truman, Javon read a book last night that he brought home from school and from you from the library. He read it from cover to cover, said Miss Castrello. Reading loud, Letter out loud during the interview. I told him I would write you a note and tell you what an outstanding job you are doing and he is doing. We are very proud of him and will continue to work with him at home. The letter continued according to the outlet. Again, thank you for your dedication and courage for the job that you do. CC Laos. It was a little bit more, but that was the letter. Well, this letter, the parent gave it to the teacher a month before 9/11. Apparently, the mother used to be a detective. And in somewhere, she decided to change careers and she became a flight attendant. So keep that in mind. She used to be a police officer, a detective. She became a flight attendant. She wrote this letter to the teacher a month before 9/11 happened. The teacher had it, I guess, read it, probably received notes like this before, misplaced it, didn't know where the letter was. Apparently now the letter reappeared. She found the letter, and the letter is on his mom's stationery, and it has her handwriting and her signature and all of that stuff. And she thought it was important for Devon to have this of his mom, and wanted him to know what his mom thought of him and was proud of him during that time. You know, when you lose your parents, you wonder were they proud of you or were they thinking of me? Did they love me? And whatever it is, we all have lost parents. We think those things. It's just normal. We're human. And this would be something who now is 24 years later, he now has a family, Javon. So the teacher, Miss Thurman, found found him and made sure he got this letter in his hand, in his mom handwriting. And I'm going to actually show you the letter. I remember because my mom, she was that type of one lady where she had her own. I forgot exactly what it is, but the papers and the envelopes and I don't know, I'm a little caught up with this story a little bit, and it took me someplace. Nevertheless, um, I think it was something great for her to be able to get to him and for him to be able to see and have something with his mom's. Look at this. This is it. This is the letter that she wrote to the teacher about her son and how proud she was of him and how she was proud of the teacher and thanked the teacher for helping him and that they would continue to work with him from home. This is what his mom thought of him at that time. And you can't ask for anything more than that. So that's why I thought this was important. And no, it didn't get lost in the mail, but she found the letter and look at the pristine. This is him holding the letter. Look at the pristine condition of the letter. You could still see the folds in it. That's crazy for 24 years. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. So let's get rid of that. That is all I have for you guys. I love you guys. I want, again, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Um, I love you guys. I want you to be intentional. I want you to check on your strong friend. I want you to check on your strong family members. Like I said, the weather's about to change. We are now in fall. I'm actually excited because I love the fall. Summertime is hot. I like spring and fall. I like winter for the fashions and for the materials, the leathers, the furs, whatever it is. But honestly, fall and spring are my months. I'm an April baby, anywho. I love you guys. Check on your strong friends. I really do. You never know. I just told you guys how I reconnected with my twin sisters, and you never know. You never know what people need to say. And I remember when I was talking to my sisters the other day, and one of my sisters was like, you're going to make me cry in the midst of me saying that. And that let me know she was listening to me. Listen, I love you guys. Be strong, be intentional, and I'll see you guys soon. Soon. We come soon. Okay? Early.